Welcome to the Beauty Body Balance Podcast. Hi, I'm Dr. Erin Lucie, owner of Luminate Clinic here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And today I have with me Em, who's a licensed esthetician and our clinic manager. We're going to talk about lasers 101 and really do a deep dive into the lasers that we offer in our clinic, why we have them, what they do, who it's good for, who it's not good for. We have lots of options for our lasers. I know that when my husband started working actually in the office after about 2 years of being open, he was like, why do we have so many different lasers? Why do we have to buy them? And there's lots of reasons, but really lasers are one of the best things that you can do for your health, your skin health. And as far as skin tightening and brown spot correction, overall dermal health of the skin. And the reason that not everybody has lasers is because they are incredibly expensive. But for our patients, we want to have the best for our patients. And that's what we want, is the best.
So we buy the best.
We buy the best
spend a
lasers.
lot of money on lasers.
Yeah.
Worth it.
One of the first lasers that I bought when I opened up Luminate Clinic was an IPL device. And the reason is because I actually wanted to treat the skin and make it healthy. And IPL has been around for a long time. I started the clinic just doing chemical peels, and that was it. And chemical peels are great for all skin types and skin conditions, and they help with basically everything. They're kind of like liquid vitamins in and of themselves. And before I even offered Botox and filler, even though I was certified in those, I decided to buy a laser, and I bought an IPL. And we actually still have that laser because it's an incredible device. IPL has been around for, almost 30 years. And at this point, there's tons of research around IPL. IPL stands for Intense Pulse Light. And what it does is it gives a flash of light to your skin. And it basically emits the entire rainbow: red, yellow, green, blue, all at the same time. And that means it's treating the different layers of the skin. And if you think of that rainbow going down this way, so it'd start here red, it's going to go into the deeper layers of the skin. And then the yellow treats the dermis and the collagen and elastin. So we use that for photo rejuvenation. Green targets brown spots, blue targets acne. It's really just making everything safer or everything healthier. And it's a very safe treatment.
Yeah, I love IPL. I hate getting it.
Yeah.
We can't numb for it. Reason being, why, Dr. Lucie?
We don't numb for this particular treatment because numbing constricts the blood flow to the skin, the vascularity. And if we're treating veins like rosacea or sun damage,
which we always do with the IPL.
Telangiectasias, it's the best treatment for that. We actually don't numb because we want to see full force veins of what's happening.
The laser can't see it if they're shrunken up,
right,
and hiding is essentially what happens. So
every laser kind of has its own target or chromophore to where it's targeting that specific thing. And the IPL we have it settings in there, and we can either target brown spots or we can target vascularities, or we're just targeting collagen in the skin. And there's really, because it's been out for so long, there's different types of lasers, different brands. Probably the most popular brand that you're familiar with is Photofacial. And the Photofacial basically is saying, we're taking light and we're reversing sun damage. Mm-hmm. And it is one of the absolute best treatments to reverse sun damage in the skin, almost like a reverse tanning bed, to where it's actually undoing sun damage. And the research now shows if you get a photofacial every season, so 4 times a year, let's say you do that 4 times a year for 10 years, your skin will be 10 years younger than it was 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's great for skin health. If you just are a person who wants to maintain your skin health as you age, IPL is fantastic. Mm-hmm. The only people it's not fantastic for are
higher Fitzpatrick's.
So deeper skin tones. Mm-hmm. And depending on your melasma, it can either be great for melasma, but if it's triggered by heat, then we have other options.
Right. So melasma is a type of pigment that is really deep in the skin caused by a hormonal fluctuation. And that melasma can be triggered by heat. And the IPL, like Em said, hurts.
It's hot.
It is really hot on the skin. And it creates this, it feels like a hot rubber band snap. And we do around 100 pulses, like 100, 120, somewhere around there for the face. And so, but it only takes like 20 minutes and then it's done and then it's fine.
It's worth it. But the reason that I wanted to mention who it's not safe for is because I'm really excited to talk about our other lasers for melasma.
Yeah,
specifically.
We do have other lasers for melasma.
Yeah. What's your favorite one?
My favorite one's going to be, I don't know. I'm going to say for melasma, it's probably going to be the Pico, just for melasma. But we do have a new one that I have been using on pigment. We've only had it for, 2 months now. That I've also recently started treating with melasma. And I think if I had melasma, I would probably do NuVADerm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you treated your husband, Micah.
I treated his melasma. And it's gone. Mm-hmm. It's totally gone. It worked
so well.
I was really surprised about that.
Yeah, really good. But I love the NuVADerm too because it can do so many other things other than treat melasma. Like it can treat age spots and pigment, but it's so good for rejuvenation and texture.
Yeah.
And minimal downtime.
The NuVADerm is a thulium laser. And what's nice about this laser is that some people compare it to CO2, but when we're looking at when we talk about laser devices, really basically all they are energy. Like what type of energy are we giving you? When we do an IPL, we're doing light-based energy. When we're doing like a CO2 laser, which we don't have in the office because they can be dangerous and leave lines of demarcation. And CO2 is kind of what I call like old school technology. Like there's better technology now. But the problem with CO2 is that when we're looking at that energy, what's happening is the energy line is like this. And so it's going across the board and kind of targeting everything in the skin. When we use a thulium laser, it has one specific peak in the skin and we can adjust the settings so it can go light, medium, deep, very deep. And we're still targeting exactly what we want to target. If we want to target pigment, if we want to target superficial redness in the skin, if we want to target collagen, we're able to target that specific thing without just blowing through the entire dermis.
Yeah. We can renovate the kitchen without bulldozing the whole house or whatever.
Yes.
That's what we always say when we're talking about targets with lasers.
Analogy.
Mm-hmm. And that's how the Pico is too.
Yeah.
Totally different than the NuVADerm. It uses picosecond technology, so like acoustic sound waves that go into the skin to target different things. But we love it for pigment, and it's pretty good for collagen too. If you want like a nice glow.
The Pico? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The Pico we also use, because it is using sound waves, we also use it for tattoo removal. Mm-hmm. And it has a specific, like we talked about, wavelength or energy. And so it's actually able to target blues and greens and yellows and even white, some of the white pigment that we see in tattoos. And that, like the blacks and the reds and all those different colors, the Pico is going to be very specific and focused in on those specific chromophores using sound waves. Yeah. But one of the reasons that it's great for melasma is because it's in a picosecond and it is which means it's super fast in the skin cools off a lot faster. And so it's not triggering that heat that we would get with an IPL and melasma.
Yeah. It's a pretty elegant laser.
Yeah.
And the downtime is good on it too, which people always appreciate. I mean, who wants to have the downtime of like, we're going to sound like CO2 haters, but the downtime of CO2 is pretty intense, you know?
Yeah, it can be up to a month.
If we can get you great results, similar or even better than a CO2 and a lot less significant downtime and side effects, why would we have a CO2 when we could have a different laser?
Yeah.
I love it.
All of the lasers keep getting better and better every year. Like I've been doing lasers for 25 years. The first laser I did was a YAG laser, and I used that mostly for leg veins. And then we used that same laser for tattoo removal.
Ugh,
and
that sounds painful.
It was terrible and it was painful. And patients would get burned, and we're like, well, that's what happens. You get burned.
Gotta burn it off.
You gotta burn it off, and you gotta get a blister, and then that skin will peel off, and then your tattoo will be gone. And now we still get blisters every now and then. It's kind of expected and anticipated.
I prefer to see a blister, actually. It makes me feel like it's
not
working.
as bad. Yeah, it's not as bad as what they were. Like technology is getting so much better. And even the first IPL device that I used, we had to like switch out the crystals, and the handpiece was really heavy, and sometimes we would burn people, and it was just like Like I had to put the glass on the skin and then raise it up off the skin like 3 to 5 millimeters. And then you're just hoping that you don't burn them. Now, that's why I'm like, you girls have it so easy now because like the computer does everything and it does the settings and you tell them the skin color and it does the settings. You tell them what you want to target.
Yeah.
And then you put the glass like right on the skin. You don't have to like think about, is it 2 millimeters or 3 millimeters away? Like it's exactly where it needs to be. So technology now is so much better than what it was forever ago.
Yeah.
So the first laser that I think everybody, I mean, if this is like a business podcast, I'd say buy an IPL as your first thing.
Yeah.
Because it's doing skin rejuvenation so nicely. And if you're getting Botox and filler treatments, and Botox is kind of the gateway into aesthetics, but really if you're getting Botox treatments, you need to be getting an IPL or photofacial done because it's reversing that sun damage and increasing that collagen production so nicely. So our first like skin tightening treatment used to be IPL, like our skin tightening
For tightening?
device. Like you would come in.
I don't even think about it as like a tightening laser.
Yeah. I know, because it's like, it's kind of like old school to do that. But if we only had one device, it would be an IPL because it's increasing collagen so much.
Yeah.
And even though our protocols, like at Clear Skin Institute, they do IPL every week if you have a scar, because they're increasing that collagen so much with an IPL. You can get actual like change and contour to the skin. Going deeper than the IPL, like when we talk about that rainbow of light that's going into the skin, going deeper than the IPL is going to be your sound waves, like the Pico. And then deeper than that is going to be our radio waves. And the radio waves we use for our true skin tightening now, our device that we have 2 radio wave devices. One of them is a Scarlet, which is our baby, and Agnes, which is our other baby. And we pair Scarlet and Agnes together frequently all the time.
Yeah, we talk about like lasers a lot when it comes to texture of the skin, tone of the skin, but it's amazing what they can do, for tightening and for contouring, because you said Agnes and Scarlet being paired. So when would we, like, what are we trying to treat when we're doing those both in the same session?
So the kind of the difference between the Scarlet and the Agnes, Scarlet has 25 gold needles that go into the skin and then deliver a burst of heat that create that deep kind of dermal tightening.
What does your mom call it? Shrink wrapping?
That's what she calls it shrink wrapping, especially the temperature. Oh, that's also radio frequency.
Yeah.
And if you see like a little, I think the biggest complaint we get from women is like, oh, my face is melting. My face is melting and I'm getting like a line here and I'm getting this here. Those kind of like jowls and this kind of break and those fat pads. That's where the Scarlet is really going to shine because those deeper needles are going in and then delivering that burst of heat and that burst of energy. And those 25 needles are really kind of like tightening it up. And research shows like every session takes off about 2 years and creates that tightening effect. So that's why we recommend 1 for each decade of life. So if you're in your 30s, you would do a Scarlet series of 3. And then if you're in your 40s, you would do 4 at 4-week intervals, 5, you would do 5 at 4 to 5-week intervals. And if you're 60, you would do 6 Scarlets in a row, back to back, every like 5 to 6 weeks. Because each session takes off about 2 years. So if you're going to want like a non-surgical facelift, you want to do 4 to 5 to get that 10 years off, really. And we combine it with the Agnes. Agnes is a single needle that emits radio waves. It goes in just a little bit deeper than Scarlet. And we use that one for really kind of contouring. So it is originally made for acne, like we've talked about. And the acne one has a very tiny needle. But then they realized, oh, we can put a longer needle on this. And instead of burning the pore, we can actually burn fat. So it was started for under eye bags. So we can do a non-surgical under eye treatment with the Agnes. And then we use it for jowls and we use it for double chin and even just contouring the cheeks. We can place the needle, we call it tacking. So we place the needle kind of superficially under the skin and it burns the fat and kind of repositions that tissue where we're actually tacking and tightening the skin in place. And then we go all over with the Scarlet underneath.
It's like if you changed the part in your hair or got bangs, you would, like when your hair is wet, put a clip in to train it is how I think of the Scarlet and the Agnes, but with heat and needles.
Right. I know it kind of sounds weird to like, we're like tacking the like underneath tissue in place. But that would be the closest thing that we have to like a non-surgical facelift without doing threads. But that would be your Scarlet and Agnes combination.
And then what I really love of our lasers that I don't think like people know a lot about, but I love it as the cherry on top is the plasmage.
Oh,
that thing's awesome.
The plasmage uses plasma energy, which is the hottest form of energy that we have, plasma energy. And that is how we do our non-surgical blephs, like the upper eye. So we can use the Agnes to remove fat pads under the eye. And then we use the plasmage, basically burning the upper eyelid to tighten it. And the plasmage device that we have, the plasma energy, is actually fractionated energy. And this is where lasers get better and better, because the plasma energy before was just kind of like CO2, just blowing through everything. But our plasma energy is fractionated, which means that it has little tiny holes. And every hole, because it is a hole or it's fractionated, it's actually able to help like heal faster, because each individual hole is healing around that one center piece.
Yeah.
It's fractionated.
It works so well when you just have, like, we've tightened everything up, but you might have a little bit of like crepiness still, or really fine lines or dynamic lines from like movement, like what we treat with tox sometimes. I love that laser for that. And blephs are intense and the downtime's intense, but the results that we've been able to get with the plasmage are very similar, I would say, to a bleph.
Plasmage is kind of like a, it looks like a single device, and because we're able to spot treat that area, it's perfect. I call it my Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. So let's say we've tightened and we've done peels and we've done Botox. If you have a line here, if you have lines here, even like the neck is a great area to use the plasmage. We're able to just go in and basically like erase those lines.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love that. If people want tightening without downtime, what are you recommending?
We recommend the tincture.
Yes.
And
I love tincture.
Tincture, I do
It's so
too.
nice.
I wish I could get it every day.
Me too.
You guys need a tincture.
It's so relaxing. With an Aquaferm facial.
Yeah. The tincture uses radio waves, but it has a nice, smooth gold handpiece. And this is like the true shrink wrapping. So if you have an event like tomorrow or tonight or in a couple days, the tincture goes through, our esthetician does this treatment, and just tightens everything and just makes everything so smooth, and there's no downtime. You're kind of pink the day of.
Just feels like a warm
feels
massage.
Like hot stone massage.
Oh, but on your face. It's so nice. And it's also a great option for people who like want to tighten but are scared of needles or hesitant of needles, because I would say it's not as intense results as Scarlet.
Right. It's not going to be, because it's more superficial. Like it's right.
But it's still great.
The heat's going down on the surface, as opposed to the Scarlet needles and the Agnes needles are going in, and then you get the heat.
Yeah, but it's still, people still say that they feel like they look tighter and smoother if they do a tincture series. And we can do it on the body for body contouring.
So it's nice for cellulite. You can use it on your stomach. You can use it on your legs, your knees. We kind of can spot treat those areas with tincture without having to, commit to a whole, like you don't have to do your whole face with tincture. You can do just your eyes. You can do just your lower face. You can do just your neck, or you could do it all.
I would do it all. And then feel like stunning the next day.
Yeah.
So everything's nice and tight.
It's definitely a nice treatment to do before big events, or even like in between your Scarlet series. Because with the Scarlet laser, you do have to wait, 2, 3, 4, 6 months before you see results. Like your max, let's say you're doing a series of 6, your max results will be at a year from the time that you start, because it'll be 6 months after your very last session.
Collagen takes time to build, which is really frustrating, especially when you're coming in for these treatments. You might have downtime. They might be uncomfortable or even a little bit painful. And you're spending a lot of money with us. And so it's important to go into it knowing that it's a long game and you have to be patient. The collagen gets stimulated that day, but it actually takes 90 days to turn on completely and start like actively rebuilding not only new collagen, but in the ways that we want the collagen to grow. Because as we age, they go from being crisscrossed and nice and tight to going straight. And that's when we start to see laxity. So we're like remodeling it and building new collagen, and it just takes time. But the results, if you're willing to stick with it and be patient, are so good.
So one of the best things that you can do for preventative is do lasers.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, a lot of patients will come in and they're like, oh, I see a fine line or my face is melting and I want to do Botox. Botox, I'm going to sound like a Botox hater. I realize every episode I talk bad about Botox. Our next episode will be about how great Botox is. But Botox is a Band-Aid, and it paralyzes your muscle and it stops your skin from moving, and that's why it's getting rid of that line out of that wrinkle. But what you should be doing is lasers. You need to be doing something to increase your collagen and get your skin thicker and healthier, and that's where NuVADerm comes in. Chemical peels, regular microneedling. But really, if people had if we could market better instead of Allergan marketing, like if you have a wrinkle, you need Botox. If you have a wrinkle, you need an IPL. Like that's what should be happening. If you have a wrinkle, you need IPL. If you have a wrinkle, you need a NuVADerm. If you're getting sagging, you need Scarlet. Like you need that radio frequency. So if I could just tell everybody, if you're aging, you need lasers.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to keep you looking like you. Because the other problem is you're like, people come in and they're like, oh, I have a wedding to go to. I'm like, great. I hope it's in 6 months from now. And they're like, no, it's in 2 days.
Okay, you're getting a tincture.
Yeah, you're getting a tincture. You can have some Jeuveau, some Daxify that's going to kick in really fast. And we can put some filler in, right? That's probably like the best thing that we can do is we can do a facial, we can do a glow up, we can do a little bit of tox, a little bit of filler, and you're going to look better. But long term, like we really need to get your skin tighter and thicker and healthier and keep that collagen going. And the way that I think of it is like you have a table and a tablecloth, and we want to keep that tables, like your bones and your fat pads, like we want to keep that where it is. And then the tablecloth is like your skin. So your tablecloth gets bigger and your bones and your fat pads, your table's getting smaller, right? So we want to make sure that we're moving those things at... I got to use my hands.
Getting passionate here.
I know. We want to make sure that we're moving those things at the same time. Like our table, when our bones and our fat pads are like moving and deflating and shrinking, that's where our filler comes in, and we need to be able to make those a little bit bigger. And then our skin, we need to make that smaller. So ideally, once we start to see that laxicity happening in those fine lines, you need to start making your table smaller or your tablecloth smaller, like right now.
Yeah.
And that's where lasers are going to come in, because nothing else does that. You could get a facelift, but it's not making your tablecloth smaller. It's just making it tighter and weirder. So in order to make you look the same like you have to do like a little bit of filler underneath, biostimulators, and then keeping that tablecloth tighter is going to make you stay looking like you.
Yeah, we
And
will
lasers do
not
that.
fill or thread your skin if it's in poor health. We want it to be as thick and healthy as possible, because we know that if we were to just like thread everything up or fill everything up, you're still going to have texture, you're still going to have pigment, you're still going to probably have some dynamic lines. These are all things that we can remedy with lasers. So once the skin's nice and healthy and thick and even and smooth, you're going to be even happier when you go into those other treatments. But I did go on Instagram and I posted a question box. Do you want to answer some questions really quick? Okay. Somebody asked, you kind of already answered this. If I wanted to get the biggest transformation in one day, what would I need to do?
You would need resurfacing. You would need a NuVADerm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the biggest transformation, it kind of depends on what you have, but if you have veins and brown spots, I would IPL you first, and then I would do NuVADerm on top, because the NuVADerm is going to target brown spots as well as fine lines and deep lines and wrinkles. And with the NuVADerm, we can do very superficial all the way to very deep. But that's what I would do for the biggest transformation, IPL stacked with the NuVADerm.
Love it. What's the best laser for wrinkles?
They're all good for wrinkles.
They're all good.
I would say if we have deep lines, we would need to do a Scarlet series and then resurfacing with the NuVADerm on top. Kind of like target the inside, and then as well as like the superficial lines on the outside. Scarlet and NuVADerm.
How to get rid of melasma? Question mark, exclamation point. They're desperate.
So melasma is very intense, and
Yeah.
I would target it with the Pico first, maybe some peels, and then if they need resurfacing, like some skin texture, we would do NuVADerm.
Yeah, and home care.
Home care.
Everybody needs home care. Please wear sunscreen if we're doing lasers on you. It's my
Yes.
number one rule. Is microneedling or IPL better?
Okay, microneedling is totally different than IPL. IPL is your intense pulse light that we use for red in the skin, we use for brown in the skin, collagen production, and then we can also use it for post-inflammatory erythema with acne scarring. And then regular microneedling is just a microneedling device. And there's no heat, there's no light. It's great for all Fitzpatrick. There's no chemicals with it. It's really just relying on you and your own collagen production to get the results. And so you have to make sure that your skin is healthy enough. You have to be young enough for regular microneedling. Somebody that's like 65, 75, I wouldn't say let's do microneedling because you don't have enough collagen to even make collagen. Like
Right.
you don't have enough proteins probably to make collagen. So IPL and microneedling are two totally different things. However, I do love an IPL and then a microneedling the same day because you're getting that deep dermal tightening and collagen as well as targeting the pigment and targeting the veins and targeting the collagen and elastin on top. Mm-hmm. And if
then
you want to
one
throw
layer
some
peel,
one
on
layer,
top of
I
that.
know. I'm like, if you want to throw some peel on there or some PDRN to increase the elastin, voila.
One thing about us is we are going to stack your treatments if you'll let us. If you will allow us to, we will stack them. We want you to get the biggest change. And that's one thing I love about working here and with Dr. Lucie and learning from her is she's been doing this for so long. I feel like that's kind of our shtick is we are really good at combining treatment methods to get you the biggest transformation that we can in one torture session.
One torture session.
Yes.
And I do hope that this helps patients understand, like, you shouldn't be afraid of lasers because lasers are like the best thing that you can do. I know everybody's like, oh, what are people in Hollywood doing? They're doing lasers. Hands down, they're lasering their entire body, head to toe, hair, head to toe, everywhere.
Yeah.
NuVADerm is also great for hair. That'll be in a different episode. But hopefully you understand, like, lasers are something that you should be on board with and not afraid of.
Yeah.
But you do have to go, if somebody does have a Pico or they do have a NuVADerm, those devices are very, very expensive for us to purchase. And that means that we have put a lot of time and effort and money and energy, and we believe in that device.
We go to different states because we want to treat you safely and get you good results.
So if you find, a location that does have lots of lasers, they are probably really good at what they do. And they've invested a lot of time and money in that because they believe in that specific thing. If they only have like one laser, you might want to, I don't know, watch out, do some research, but really kind of look at your options and have a consultation is the most important thing. So if you guys are in the Tulsa area, you want to do a virtual consult or like an in-office consultation for our lasers, definitely let us know. You can reach out and we'll do a consultation. That's really the best place to start is a consultation to get that full treatment plan to figure out the best route over your goals and budget and time frame. If you're getting married and you have a wedding coming up, do it as soon as possible.
Yeah. Give us at least 6 months.
Yeah. We can do it in a week.
No more ChatGPT, no more Googling what's the best or should I do this or whatever. Just come talk to an expert.
Yeah. We have
Complimentary consultations.
So if you're interested in lasers or know somebody is, like and share this episode with them, and we hope to see you soon.